Hello, everybody, and welcome to our CCA broadcast here on SplatoonTourney of our Division 6 finals. My name is Falco Flyer, joined here with Saf and Toma. 1 week ago, we were all in the same room together at LTC, but no, we are back. Stop it. We are back at our homes right now. So, again, happy Sunday night, especially those of you who were on Team Bucket List. You crushed it in Splatfest. Saf, Tome, and I, we did not win Splatfest.
We did not crush it.
We did not.
It's not going in my favor.
No, but Fry won. Fry won today. So good for Fry, good for all the Fry fans who were out there supporting them. But yes, we have a Division 6 matchup today between the OSU Octo and Squids United Gray versus Auburn University Navy. If this were 10 years ago, this would be a college football championship matchup, but no, this is Splatoon Division 6. We have some very fun teams today, Saf. Both of these teams 6-0. They're looking pretty strong.
Yeah, and you know, especially with what they have in their roster too, in their arsenal, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty decent fight this evening. Especially because OSU has only dropped 3 games this season. So that's got to be feeling pretty good. They're riding high after beating Sun God Squad, looking to take the entire division, obviously. I mean, why wouldn't you when you've made it this far? Like, you're aiming to get to the top. But, Toma, a little bit about Auburn University Navy. Auburn Navy University or Auburn University Navy?
Yeah, I think Auburn University Navy. Yes, that
like
sounds
parentheses
right. Navy, yes. They've only dropped a few games so far, so they definitely have their heads up looking here, trying to prove themselves. They had a little bit of a rough last season, but hey, Saf, they're here, and it's their first time in playoffs, and let alone first time in playoffs, it's their first time in grand finals here.
Yeah, and looking across on the board here, both very strong rosters and a really strong opening map and mode, actually. To bring us in on home to the finals for Division 6 here. And as Falco said, 6-0 on both sides. I mean, obviously, like, in the sets, you drop a couple games, like, yeah, whatever. But when you look at the total set wins going into your final week and you're 6-0, like, that's riding high on both sides.
Yeah, that is, like, huge. You see 2 100% up there. You got the splat zones for Auburn Navy and tower control on the side of OnSU Gray. And then look at that, like, Saf, everything in these high 80s, these teams are showing that, like, hey, there's a reason that they're 6-0. They're not even dropping very many games within their sets either.
Yeah, also Auburn Navy 100% on splat zones, but OSU Gray on tower control 100% wins. That's really interesting to look at because you have two folks that, like, you have 2 teams that are very strong, obviously very strong specifically in one mode. So how does that translate over to when you go toe to toe with somebody that is 100%? And does it hold true, especially when your opponent is also 6-0 like you are?
Yeah, that's, worth noting. And are they going to keep those tonight too, Saf? Because if they do, we're starting on splat zones. So that's going to be the one mode here that's played 3 times throughout tonight too. So who knows? Maybe Auburn Navy will have a little bit of a heads up there.
Yeah, I would think so too. But I think it seems like that maybe they've already gotten in a quarrel before. So this actually might be a repeat of a match, Toma. And it sounds like, from what I understand, it sounds like Auburn Navy is trying to beat them, has beaten them before in a scrimmage. Excuse me, I was like trying to find my words for a second. They've beaten them in a scrimmage before, so like definitely 2 teams that are not unfamiliar to each other. However, like, obviously maintaining the same record. But going into opening statements here, looking at the weapons being used, there's a C-Jet, Toma, and there's an Explosher.
There is a C-Jet. You see that Explosher coming out too. I love to see these fun picks they put out. So much paint. And Saf, looking in here, you've already got OSU in charge of this zone, trying to lay down that paint. And look how, actually no, sorry, it's Auburn that takes quick control of that zone. And look at that, though. Now it's OSU moving in, trying to get those flats. You see the dualies going in, but gonna go down. Auburn gonna try to hold on here, but look, just all this paint trading back and forth is gonna keep it neutral as they continue to try to fight it out.
Yeah, and looking in here too, finally a flip coming out from Auburn University Navy. But still, there's a lot of pressure coming in, though, from this blaster over on this left-hand flanker. You can see the Exploshers wasting no time to try to, like, take a little bit of the back foot here, because obviously now you can see with one member going down, OSU is trying to take advantage of that, but not really finding any value out of it and going 3 members down themselves. So Auburn University still having a strong foothold in mid-tier.
Yes, they do have a strong foothold there, and you already see that they're almost burned through this penalty, Saf, and they're going to be moving up on that left-hand side, that M52 gal trying to be sneaky over there, working their way in as they continue to hold this zone now through 50 counts remaining. But they're going to be charging here forward, trying to get that zone, but going 2 down isn't going to be quite what they need here, and Auburn going to continue to hold strong.
Yeah, and I mean, that penalty is just ticking away. Last-ditch effort now coming into advantage. You can see that toxic miss, too, acting as a little bit of a deterrent from OSU coming any closer to the zone here. And Specials online, too, Toma. Still waiting for the right moment there, but you can't really get them utilized if you see someone is sharking your jump there. Really awesome shark taking down 2 different members of OSU there. No ground to stand on here. Auburn University Navy steamrolls the first game.
Yeah, that was huge. And I mean, well, Saf, they are the team that has 100% win rate on zones, and they're certainly showing you why.
Yeah, and I mean, what a dominating presence, too. I mean, consistently you would see some sort of assisting special come out and help be utilized in trying to win the fight there. I mean, I would love seeing the Inkstorm come out to try to be helpful with the Explosher, trying to maybe paint a little bit more space too. Also, really enjoy seeing an Explosher, Toma. Can I just add that? I mean, looking in on the replay too, like a lot of look at that Inkstorm action kind of going down there, and I gotta say too, you gotta appreciate that they were doing a double bucket composition as well.
Yeah, I mean, the double bucket was working because I think you had this Explo that could really just chip away at that zone and provide a lot of, big scary damage, because you don't want to be caught in that kind of pass-through splash damage combo. And then the blob just paints so much and it forces you back. It has that area control of, you can't stand right here. You're just going to take 300, blobs right to the face. And it ended up working out really well for them, Saf. And it's not conventional by any means, but they really played to their strengths.
Yeah, and I think that's what's important, right? Especially as you get further and further into the competition. I mean, obviously we had the No Bazooka tournament today, right? We had a whole tournament dedicated to like banning something that is so popular and strong in the meta right now. But like the most important thing with the game is just playing true to yourself, and not to bring up LTC again because I will not shut up about it. But I feel that was exactly true with a lot of the teams that played at LTC. A lot of folks played true to themselves, and I think at the heart of hearts, like that's how you're going to continue to have fun and push forward. But looking into opening weapons again, Toma, that C-Jet is out, but to respond to that, you have a ballpoint on the side of Auburn University Navy.
Ballpoint, the Neo Luna, the Tri-Slosher, you just complete 180 on weapons there on the side of Auburn as they're going to be adjusting into this new mode. Staff opening statements here as they try to get control of that tower, but OSU is going to try to prevent it here, just trying to slow them down, especially the C-Jet on the side, throwing that toxic miss and just being annoying. But with only them up, Auburn is going to start to find their footing. That blaster finds a great pick, Staff, and they're going to be looking at trying to get this first checkpoint.
3 specials online too as they sail into the first checkpoint there. The ballpoint is pretty cozy on top of the tower. Plenty of defensive maneuvering too. First checkpoint now falling. Auburn well on their way to the second one. Specials though going to be coming out from Octos and Squids United here as the Booyah Bomb just delays it just a tiny bit. However, the follow-up with the Stamp 2 kind of opening up that corridor, but unfortunately a loss of 2 different lives there as the checkpoint has fallen.
No, but they're down to 26. That's great. They need to try to keep that going, but no, they're going to be shut down. 3 down now. OSU has a lot of room to work with. They just need to flush out that Luna Blaster, who is trying to just mess them up here on the side and is going to opt to jump out. Now all this blue going down in mid and looking left towards this first checkpoint for OSU. The Blaster finds a pick, looking in to see if they can find it. Now they're getting 2 down on both sides. Make that 3 down on Auburn. Just the Luna left remaining means that this checkpoint may potentially fall here. It is long though, so they have a lot of opportunity, especially if they don't watch the side. The Luna Blaster coming in with that stamp trying to make a play, but the checkpoint is going to fall.
Yeah, tons of distractionary maneuver from that dually as well. I think that's Falsetto there, utilizing the ability of two different people from Auburn, taking their eyes away from objective completely. Now that Ainstorm and the Booyah Bomb there to kind of respond, taking the left and the right sides. The lead almost being taken. It was within grasp there, Toma, for just a second. You can see though a lot of specials are going to come out in response. The tower is slowly shifting its way back towards mid. However, look at how much space Octos and Squids has taken for themselves here. I mean, no checkpoint other than the third one standing in their way, as all four members of Auburn are trying to get set up here, trying to find some solace and some ground, some stabilization in front of the midpoint here, but they're just not really finding contact.
No, not quite, and now 2 down on the side of Auburn could spell danger for them, especially with this dualies kind of being caught out. They need to see if they can find a pick. Not going to be able to do so. That Inkjet is recalling, and now this tower is threatening this checkpoint. They go 2 down on the side of Auburn, but no one touching that tower yet. They're rushing here, just the dualies left up, Saf, and we are going to see that lead flip change. This checkpoint very close to falling. Rin's gonna hop on there and secure it for them as they're pushing to look for that knockout. Not quite gonna be able to find it this time.
Yeah, unfortunate wipeout there, just only 10 unit points within finishing and wrapping up this game here. However, response now being made by Auburn as they take their way back into lead. You see 2 members kind of chilling out on the tower there, trying to get maybe paint up a little bit, try to find a defensive posture. However, I mean, Octos and Squids, so much paint and can be utilized on their side here, and I mean, consistent Inkstorms too coming out from the C-Jet player, and already back in the midpoint, 3 members of Auburn going down.
Absolutely, Saf, and you know, they're able to hold strong onto this now with 1:20 remaining, and they just need to keep this pressure going, which they're able to definitely do so with that crab finding a pick onto the ball point. Another one going down as well. They've got a Booyah Bomb in their back pocket, Saf, for this top right area. They need to do so, but that stamp gonna take it out prematurely. A minute left in this game, and it still seems like just a lot of this wind is in OSU's sails.
Yeah, and I mean, the pressure is unrelenting too, Toma. They are not allowing the tower to go back to mid, and furthermore, past mid by any means. And so, taking the fight to them for Auburn, the splashdown still coming out and being utilized as an offensive special at this moment, but with 2v1 here, as the dualies just trying to roll away, as one dually is trying to follow it. You can see Falsetto utilizing the crab, and unfortunately the camera changing right before we can see the end there, but it seems like Falsetto was about to steamroll them over with the crab tank there. Still though, the Neo Luna Blaster taking a fight, taking down 2, looking in for 3. Definitely some damage to be done by Wego here, as finally the tower is being taken again by Auburn. Man advantage in their favor too. 10 seconds left, Toma.
But Luna going down, they need to pick this blaster out now, and they pop all their specials, Saf. No specials left in the tank to continue this push around that second checkpoint, which is going to be really a vital area for them. So they need to make sure to win these fights. They have to take out that Booyah Bomb that's diving the tower, and it looks like they do, Saf. This could be huge if they don't go down to this blaster. They have to stay alive here. Just the C-Jet up, Saf. This is a very pivotal moment. The C-Jet moving in on the side, trying to take the tower.
Oh no!
And this is Auburn handing OSU their first tower control loss of the entire season.
First one of the entire season. Oh my gosh, Toma, what a narrative that we got to witness here on SplatoonTourney this evening. I mean, imagine for an entire season, your win rate on one mode is just absolutely superb. And in the final moments, in the waking hours, that is where the tides are returning. That's where the page is flipped, because in this replay here, the fight for the tower is so on. As 2 members go down, you can see there's 3 members there. Rin tossing that Booyah Bomb there. You thought maybe the GG Booyah, that was it. But Rin goes down. And so you see the blaster trying to come in from the corner here. They find contact with one, but the blaster from Wego follows up here. I mean, it's a tit for tat fight all the way down through that other checkpoint. And I mean, having multiple people on there, this honestly was actually a favor and a benefit to them, because most of the time when you bunch up like that, it's detrimental and it's just not what you want to do. It's not ideal.
It's not,
So,
but like literally at that point, they just needed to get that checkpoint cleared.
wow.
Stuff. Like that was insane, and I have to give credit where credit is due. OSU, I mean, showed why they haven't lost a game. They were so competitive for a long time, but right now, just really quick before this next match, we're looking in here to Table Turf Troop versus I don't know how to pronounce that. Something. Ivory, but this is Div 5 finals going on right now over on the CCA channel.
And it's a really close deciding game here as going, or actually no, they play to a gentleman's 9, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, somebody does need to win game 5. Okay, sorry, I was like, hold on a minute, 4 game wins. Okay, so that's a really big deciding set going on at the CCA channel if you want to take a peek in there, as we just got to show you. But our next match here on SplatoonTourney is starting now, and Auburn is up 2-0 against Octo Squids, and moving into our next mode here, with a few changes being made, no less, but Rainmaker on Museum.
A few changes being made for sure, and I'm looking here at WeGo. That was the Luna Blaster last game, now on a Carbon. We saw how fast and, they would move up, Sap, and if you can have the paint down on the side of Auburn to support that Carbon, this could be really scary.
Yeah, and I mean, with so much paint still on the side of OSU, as really no changes being made, still cooking with the same type of ingredients here, and it's obviously benefiting them into their favor because that first checkpoint has fallen within the first 30 seconds of the game starting here. However, you can see Game Boy, they're trying to come in with that Kraken, but not quite finding contact there, so still 2 members of Auburn going down and not quite finding utility with these specials yet.
Sorry, that one gave me a chuckle there. The jump out through the Kraken was a little silly, but now it looks like Auburn's starting to try to find their footing. They do have this Rainmaker in their possession. They do have to look out for Rin on this Booyah Bomb, who's going to be throwing that behind them, throwing in some extra pressure. You can see Zoe follows up on that and gets the kill from behind, gets another kill. Just the Carbon up. You got to keep an eye on it. WeGo going to find one, find another. That's going to be good for that defense if they can stop it right here. They don't want it to go too far past that checkpoint, and it certainly is not. They get that very quick pop, and you can see they're already ready to get itching and going into mid.
Yeah, a quick rebuttal indeed from Auburn there, but still already 3 members are going back into the mid zone of Octos and Squids here. A really firm hold on the inking power here. And again, you have that Booyah Bomb consistently being online by Rin, but you also have so much paint power from Annie on that C-Jet, so much poking with the Ink Storm. But now 2 members down, the specials now finally being popped. You can see Game Boy just inching their way towards that checkpoint there, but down on the 74 mark there. And again, Annie following up with just painting mid-zone. You have to keep painting, because again, like, it takes time to actually throw paint on the ground, and you're wasting a little bit more of that time for your enemies to get closer to you.
Yeah, you certainly are, and they're trying to get closer right now, trading down 1 on each side, as it looks like OSU's just trying to carve a path, and 3 down, maybe the opportunity to do so here. They need to look up at that spinner on the dualies coming through. They're going to extend their lead. That splashdown is going to end that Rainmaker right there, but lead extended to 45. Definitely not too bad, but Auburn really needs to get together, play this together. We can see they're moving a lot faster this time. Exactly what they need to do.
Ooh.
Finding a pick with the Rainmaker there, it could be absolutely vital. They're just waiting out this suction bomb, Saf, looking for this Rainmaker dunk, and here, with just the staggered wipe, Saf, this could be huge.
Yeah, the staggered wipe was definitely what they needed. That was the wind in the sail, because there we go. The lead gets changed, and unfortunately, we have a disconnect. I was like, oh my gosh, we're standing still, but still 1 member going in a disconnect, but still the lead being taken, though, by Auburn University. 2 minutes left on the clock, Toma. Can they actually just play the long game here? This is quite literally the definition of playing the long game.
You have to be very disciplined here now, Saf, because 3 down for 2 minutes on this mode is a very difficult situation to find yourself in. But if you are OSU and you've gone 3 down here, this could be dangerous. You don't want to give Auburn basically any reason or any room to breathe. You've got permanent man advantage on them. So you have to be really careful about how you take your fights. You don't want to do anything overly risky. You just want to get that lead going. And it looks like this may be a great opportunity to just that carbon roller up, but we know how those things can shark. You've got to find them, but they're on mid. The connection is unstable. What is happening? The Rainmaker's going across the screen.
Oh,
no! What is going on?
As soon as the carbon was standing still on the middle spinner, I was like, oh dear. It's happening again. It's happening again.
I was like, oh god, we're gonna have 2 DCs. No, we had a little bit more than
if it was a 3v3, I would scream.
That would be perfect for the narrative, wouldn't it?
That would have been epic. Oh my goodness. But I mean, what are the rules there? What are the rules there? Do we go to the next match? Yeah, do we?
Who knows? We're gonna let them figure those ones out. But
that's a help desk consult.
We're 07. I wear the TO hat for many places, but not the CCA. So that's one place you can't stare at me,
You're familiar with the help desk.
I am familiar with the help desk.
I'm going to chime in here, guys, real quick. So I'm live on the mic. Apparently, I was the only one who DC'd from that, other than Ken, who DC'd earlier. This is Falco talking, by the way. So I guess ONSU, they did win that game, and according to the CCA rules, OSU won that game. So we're gonna hop back in as soon as we can. But OSU was awarded the win for Game 3. But I'll toss it back to you guys.
Okay. Thank you for the clarity. We appreciate that.
So the Carbon didn't DC. The Carbon just sent Falco straight into the abyss.
Yeah, that was for Falco. Okay. Well, okay, so OSU taking a win. Okay, that's awesome. So Game 3 said and done. We're at 2-1. Toma, we're still in it. Obviously, we knew that. We had no doubts.
This is true, and I mean, to be fair, I think that you saw, until that DC, you saw a pretty dominant game coming out from OSU for most of that. Auburn, I think at that moment in time, until they really just got the correct man situation to get a very small lead, was struggling to match OSU's speed there, which is a change that, I think OSU really needed. We saw that speed shoot up from Game 2 to Game 3, and it was a much more commanding game for them in that first half.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But how is that going to shift into into Crab Leg on Clam Blitz here?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, Saf.
Tell me. I love when you tell me.
You need that commanding presence. You need that kind of speed, because this is such a neutral heavy map, Saf, and every single pick is going to matter. And what you can do off of that pick, how far you can capitalize, how much space you can take, how many clams you can find at that time is ever more important, because once they've respawned and they're back there ready to defend, it's tough going trying to get up that ramp. So that kind of speed that OSU showed in this last game, they're going to really need to bring to this one.
Yeah, but I mean, the OSU had the speed, I agree with you there. However, I do think that the defensive pressure that Auburn's been bringing to the table is also something to be reckoned with here. Because, I bet that they fought to the end. They probably fought to the bitter end before OSU could really flip the tides on them. And you gotta appreciate that, because it's really easy to just kind of throw in the towel in a 3 versus 4 and be like, well, that's that. But you gotta understand that you want to try to take the win, but maybe they just want to accept the loss here, because they already are 1 point ahead. So they are that one step closer to getting the total wins here, the net wins. So maybe they're kind of like, all right, well, you guys can have that one. That's fine. We'll brush this one off, and then we'll move on to the next one.
They sure are, and I agree. I think the defensive pressure from Auburn has definitely been more apparent here. So, maybe we'll see a classic case of the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Who will come out on top?
I certainly hope so, because that's always my favorite debate of all time that we get to talk about on the mic here together. Toma, how have you been since LTC? Can you give me a little update? What's it like in the world of Toma right now?
Well, I haven't gotten COVID, so that's fantastic, right?
Well, congratulations.
Sorry, I realized that's probably. I'm thinking about the Falco tweet.
No, I mean you guys are both so lucky that you didn't end up being sick. Like you are so lucky. I mean, I personally have no symptoms. But I have been isolating, and I've been just kind of like doing my own thing for the last few days, debating if I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. But I mean, it's so lovely to see both your faces after only a week. It's only been a week, and
the land spoil us because now I'm like, where are my besties? Like I just want to hang out all day.
Oh God, I know, right? You're like, where are all my friends again? Why do they not live in the same building as me?
Exactly. I just want to like walk downstairs and be like, well, there we are. We're gonna go out. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have this dinner. Like we're gonna hang out at the fire pit.
I know. Finally, we're gonna be actually doing the thing and hanging out. But soon, there will be Once Upon a Land called Gridlock. There will be Once Upon a Land called Sea Battle. There will be
Once Upon a Land called H-Town Splashdown.
H-Town Splashdown. There will be Once Upon a Land called Sunset Surge. And of course, reliable in Sandusky, Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio, Ohio, Riptide.
I'll be so sad, but I will not be there.
And you know what? I'm sure you'll be missed. I'm sure you'll be missed.
Yeah, I will. I know. I'm that special, right?
You are special though. I think everybody that gets to attend these things does a really good thing and gets to, hang out and get to know folks that maybe you wouldn't have gotten to talk to before. But you know what, Toma? Enough about LTC. Enough about these lands and things. Let's hop back in. Clan Blitz on Crabbling Capital. Let's go. Both teams loaded back into the lobby. No changes though. No changes once again coming. Oh dear. Okay.
Falco is on the match. Falco's playing Blaster now for Octos and Squids United. Wow. Congratulations, Falco.
Oh my God. Congratulations, Falco. That's so cool.
I'm so happy that Falco's on a collegiate team. This is really epic advancements.
I feel like it's come full circle. It's come full circle. Okay, it really has.
If I could play, I would totally do it. I've been trying. First of all, my alumni has not had a team play yet so far. Miami University, Miami of Ohio, if you're out there, start a collegiate Splatoon team. I want to coach you. I want to be there for you. I will literally drive to the school. It's about an hour from me. I would drive there and coach you guys and vibe. But honestly, Ohio State's the next closest one. They're also an hour away from me too. But I didn't go there, so I kind of want somebody on Miami. But that's fine. That's fine. You
heard it here first, Miami folks. If you have a Splatoon team. At FalcoFlyer11 on Twitter. That's at FalcoFlyer11 on Twitter, okay? Listen. We're looking for you.
Come let me coach you guys. I unfortunately can't play or anything, but that's fine. But yeah, no, we're trying to get back in the lobby. We had another DC. There's been a lot of funky things going on tonight, so we're just trying to get these matches in as soon as we can. So
This is like the night of scuff for
technology.
It
is a night of scuff. It kind of is. Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. We vibe.
But listen, I get to vibe and talk with my pals. I mean, look at this.
What's better than that?
What's better than that? What's better than that than vibing with my pals?
I always love more time to yip and yap, honestly.
No, exactly. So, okay. Funky comps here in Division 6 for the CCA. However, it's obviously working with either side that you look at. Both funky comps are working in some way, because it goes to show that even if something is a little bit off script, if you have the right tools in your toolbox and you use them correctly, it doesn't matter.
When it's like the Incredibles, like when everybody's special, no one is. Yeah, when everybody's running a funky comp, no one is, right? So
I know, right? It's friends among friends, right? And again, I want to remind the folks sitting at home and watching at home that these two teams have scrimmed each other before, so familiar with each other's toolboxes.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's fun too, right? Because when you're now in grands for Division 6, and these are people that that you've played with too, not only do you have that awareness, you get a little bit more insight for your matches. You kind of know how they play the game, and you're kind of already ready to adapt. You don't have to use those first games as much to learn about your opponent. But also, at the end of the day, I think the CCA has been one of the friendliest leagues out there.
Yeah, and you gotta appreciate too, like, again, the CCA is literally across the country. it's different universities, colleges, across the country, different teams coming together and playing each other. Like, that is such a cool thing, Toma. These, like, universities that have literally zero connection at all, but the connection that they do have is Splatoon.
Yeah, which is epic. I mean, like Falco, my team, my college didn't have a Splatoon team. I don't think they've had a Splatoon team. If they do, then that's like total knowledge to me. Sam Houston State University out there, if y'all got a Splatoon team,
yeah, hit me up.
Like, Crest of Gautier on Twitter. I don't think Twitch has DMs, but you can find me too. Like,
right. Oh my gosh, like, if your team exists, hit me up. So the University of Washington folks have a really big group of people, but that was not my alma mater. My alma mater is on the other side of the state. So if any, but still, like, I've thought about getting more involved with UW, but I also feel like that I'm completely outclassed by a lot of the UW students. So I'm like, what advice could I possibly give?
I would be like, let me coach you, and then I'd be like, wow, you're better than me. I will say words into the mic about your sets instead, if you would prefer. Like, I know how to do that.
Yeah, I can do that. I can tell you that you're doing well on mic, but I can't tell you how to, like, improve it or anything.
I'm like, listen here, I'm little low Inca gamma bracket. Maybe for my FTIU teams out there. Shout out to my FTIU teams out there.
Yeah.
Give y'all a little coaching, but probably not the best.
At Crest of Gautier for coaching needs and wants. And he sorts TOing needs and wants. Look at anybody out there trying to start a league or a tournament.
Oh,
at
Lord,
Crest of Gautier.
Not till after Ludi, I will explode. That's crazy. I made rules today. I gotta make a map list today. I had to write a lot of stuff today. It's been a crazy day for Ludi.
I'm proud of you though for committing to the bit and for doing that for us, because it's because of people like you that we get to be involved and do really fun things like watch Splatoon on a Sunday evening or late at night for the folks on the east side. However, look at this. Crab Lake Capital, finally, Clam Blitz. Ken on the Dynamo with the Hydra, hello.
Hello? This is kind of crazy. And this is like, okay, first of all, I gotta say, I do love the Blaster Dynamo comp. And I feel like that I have a sneaking suspicion that you could probably relate to that being a great comp, but at the moment, OSU just trying to take mid by storm. They got 2 down there on Auburn, but Auburn, look how fast they're coming back, how Wigo is just holding this space here, using this range so well, trying to look and see if they can find any splats, using that wave freaker to try to sense people out. They've just got to, like, this is what I'm talking about, Saf. You got to be careful here, though, because this is that very neutral, mid-heavy map. They're waiting until they can get those picks to move forward.
Yeah, but I think with the amount of specials that OSU has at their disposal currently, that's not going to really cause an issue unless you leave Wigo the Blaster unchecked here. Finally, it's Rin helping out Zoe there, finding in contact and taking them off to the grate. That could have been really detrimental had the clam economy been in their favor. However, let's talk again about OSU. Clam economy, 5 clams, including a power clam in their possession, but still not the numbers for the player advantage to even get anything working with it. So it kind of, as you said, Toma, it's just been an exchange of blows until somebody is like, hey, we gotta charge forward.
Yep, they certainly need to. We're a minute and a half into this game so far. Now you can see the clam economy very much so on the side of Auburn. This Hydra here looking just to apply additional pressure. You see that splashdown actually go off near the base of OSU. This could be their opportunity to get going, but they have to back up from that Booyah Bomb. 2 down. This is the chance to make a play. Here we go. We're going to see that first basket open. We've got the Booyah Bomb out to extend this. Some clams to add as well, and you can see that they're trying to circle around to find a few more. Below 60 is definitely always what I want to see here. A good opening push, and still maybe some more clams to add.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some more. Look at Wigo breaking through to the other side here. 33 points now on the board with Bravo jumping in for just a little bit more side action. However, only the Hydra being left alive, as they are just going to probably opt to throw a couple Autobombs out there. Still, though, the follow-up being made by OSU here. Not quite enough clams to really make any sort of rebuttal Picking up a pity clam, though, into their possession. You could see Falsetto trying to open things up with that crab tank there. Not quite finding any value. Still 2 more specials online, though, for OSU to be utilized. But still, again, not quite in the numbers advantage, as Rin is going to opt out and maybe go back to the drawing board of how they want to re-enter.
Yeah, they are, and I got scared there for a second with the Hydra just standing, and I was like, oh no, but it looks to be all good for now. Hydra just holding space exactly like it needs to for Auburn. They've got that nice lead down to 33. No need to do anything too risky here, especially with such a great score, but look at Ligo in such a great position up there. They've got that power clam ready to go, looking to find one on the right-hand side, finding out Rin there, looking to try to find one more there in the pit. But they've got that power clam up. They just need to find a little bit more space from their teammates, which it looks like they are trying to carve some space here with that Booyah Bomb.
Yeah, and definitely space to be had, however, with the follow-up with the Toxic Mist and a Booyah Bomb of their own to boot. Really not too much opening to be had here for Auburn to really make a move. I mean, still huge advantage currently, as they have 2/3 of the clams in the basket. And again, you can see that OSU has made a really good statement here, getting 3 different members down the Inkstorm, trying to follow up. This is their moment to try and see if they can change the current tides of the game here. Finally, a statement being made, and still 3 members down, still members being delayed, and a wipeout to hit them back and throw that follow-up punch hard. 56 points still on the board. Rin trying to throw a few more clams in there to just keep it open for a little longer. Toma only 10 more to make a difference and an impact here, but less than a minute left to do it.
And unfortunately, the C-Jet there on the side is not going to be able to sneak those extra clams in. Saf, what a huge push from both sides on their one push of the game each, but now with 30 seconds remaining, Saf, there's going to be a lot of pressure left on OSU to get forward and get that basket open once again. Once they do, they don't need nearly as much follow-up to be able to take that lead, but like we said, this is such a neutral heavy game. They have to play this right, and if you're Auburn, you can't risk going down in bad fights. They're losing 1 there. The Dynamo goes down. It's 2 down on both sides. This C-Jet jumping out without the power clam there. Now they need to pick that back up to score, but Saf, look, it looks like it's gonna break there, and I think that was the misclick there, and that ends their run.
Oh man, yeah, what a misstep going on there, leaving the power clam behind. Yeah, Auburn kind of gonna just be taking that one. That ending there was in a way sort of handed to them, unfortunately. But you know, sometimes, yeah, as you said, misclicks happen, a miscalculation occurs, and you can't quite get out of the spawn quick enough to follow up or to maybe do a different course of action there. So looking in on the replay, yeah, Annie had that power clam in their possession, only a pop and maybe just a few and some change to try to make a difference there. Booyah Bomb coming out. Yeah, the path was kind of carved there. I mean, yeah, 2 members down, but the splashdown opened up so much for them and had so much left in to follow up, and especially with the Inkstorm too, a lot of that poking damage as well. It was looking really good for OSU, Toma. I'm wondering what was going on in that voice channel.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure there, and I mean, misclicks happen if that's what it was. I know I've been there. I've definitely been the person that picks up a pity clam and then immediately throws it off the map by accident. So I feel you. I feel people there with misclicks.
Yeah, you know what? Things happen. That's fine. Once again, you just gotta brush it off and move on. And looking at Division 1 here over on the CCA channel, you have UCSD Gold versus Red Ambers, and I believe UCSD Gold was at LTC, no?
I do believe I saw them. Yes, they won the Fire Pit bracket, so that is true. That they were there putting on a really good show. I remember them because I remember their jerseys, which were really cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, Division 1 already with a win under their belts too for UCSD Gold. So huge run from LTC coming off of and going into this Division 1 match. That's got to be feeling pretty awesome there, and that would be actually a really awesome medal to kind of add to the trophy wall for UCSD Gold, being such a strong collegiate team too in the league here. But for us here on SplatoonTourney, we're going to be jumping into our 5th game of the night here. We're going into Splat Zones on Nakamart. And Toma, remind me one more time, who has the 100% win rate on spot zones?
Auburn University Navy
Hello.
has 100%. So they are looking, if they can keep that 100% win rate going, they're looking at taking this to set point at the moment.
Yeah, and already Auburn is making no hesitating moves here to prove that Splat Zones is their mode, regardless of the map that it's on. But I mean, a strong opening statement being made by OSU here, Toma, and already some staggering being happened right in the first 30 seconds. A really short lead to be flipped at that. But the members of OSU are completely spread out here. No entry point does not have eyes on it.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of watching that and keeping 2 down onto Otter. You see the dualies on this flank moving in, finding Ken there. And, Ken had that raid out, but it's not going to do too much, and they can't capitalize off it. The Carbon does drop in and get that pick now. 50 counts remaining on that zone. They need to find their way in. The Zuka's going to try to be their key to doing so, but not quite going to be able to find someone. And now they've got to make this play using their main weapons. They do have a crab tank that they could potentially utilize off of that. No, that's not even a crab tank dually. That was the splashdown coming in. It does get the zone now, Saf, and this is going to be their opportunity to show everybody what they're made of. We saw that double bucket comp come out last time, so can it hold the space this time like it was before?
Yeah, and Toma, that splashdown found so much value when that zone changed over, because that was so much space and ground that Auburn did not have in their favor. And already 2 different members of OSU now going down. There are specials to follow up here. However, that splashdown just can entirely change the color of the map here, because look at that. From 0 to hero, that lead being flipped by Auburn.
Yeah, and now those buckets look soft. Between that Explo and the Bloblobber, they're just struggling to find a way in. A Booyah's gonna go at that zone desperately to try to get it, but the splashdown
again!
One more time, Saf. This is here to splash down from the other team, gonna try to do it, but it isn't gonna neutralize it in time. And now Auburn University Navy has taken this to match point.
I mean, okay, listen. I was a little bit of a splashdown hater. In the sense that, like, I don't know, its margin for error is very low, and but seeing it utilized like that in zones on Mako, I mean, holy smokes, Toma! Again, so much value had out of that splashdown. So here we see the lead for Auburn being flipped, right? The lead gets lost. They have it in their possession. You could see the Booyah Bomb come out here. I mean, just a mad dash to try to recover the zone and keep it under wraps, right? But again, looking at losing control, immediately that splashdown comes in, and total and complete coverage. Every single speck of ink that was like within that zone completely gone, but also around it as well. So much utility from that splashdown in that game, and quite honestly, I think Auburn needs to dedicate that win to both of those splashdowns.
Absolutely. And now I have to mention, we saw the 100% win rate on zones, but looking into the team's history, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Saf, Auburn had a pretty rough season last season of CCA. So this is their first time in playoffs and in grand finals, and now they're sitting 4-1 up over their opponent in their first ever grands of CCA.
I love when you tell me how it is. You know that?
This has to be huge for them. And I know that they're feeling the pressure right now to close this off on a win here in TC.
Yeah, I've no doubt there. I mean, but Toma, again, you gotta be feeling the pressure if in the mode that you have 100% win rate on, that the team coming in to defeat you on it is the team that you are facing in finals. Okay, so the last tower control match we saw, OSU, was not able to take, did not take that. Auburn took that from them.
Yeah, right at the end in overtime too. And OSU held that lead for a long time. They showed us why they're the tower control champions, but you can't get messy at the end. And unfortunately, when you're trying to rush to that tower and you're trying to make those plays to grab it at the last second, you can get a little bit desperate. So they have to make sure they don't do that here. I will say though, we're going into a little bit more of a classic stage. You know,
old reliable.
Old reliable, as we love to say. So a little bit more practice, and maybe we'll see here that, you know, really good seasoned plays out of the side of OSU.
Yeah, I mean, okay, having this blaster at their disposal, great. The Booyah Bomb, great. I mean, no changes for me, no notes from the C-Jet, because consistently there is rain on this battlefield. And it's definitely been a little bit of an issue for Auburn. But I mean, unless you're someone like Wego who's like, hey, I'm just gonna shark up on this stack here and go ahead and take it from you without two of you even noticing that I'm there. And hey, you know what? To boot, I'm also gonna pop this Trizuka and nullify your crab with 3 of my teammates also having their specials online. I mean, look at the snowball.
The splashdown.
Yeah, again, the splashdown finding so much value. Auburn just hitting it where it hurts.
They did not know, and Wego carved the path out there. Now that second checkpoint falling. Notorious for being a little bit hard to break, and 3 down. Just that blaster left up on the side of OSU. We're looking at a potential snowball here. They need to get that out of there. Wego is just putting a lot of pressure forward, and Inkjet is ready to come out here from that ball point, trying to keep as much pressure down as they can. 2 down on both sides. These fights are going to turn the tide here if they can break this checkpoint, and you see that they're able to jump in and stop that there from just completely crumbling apart, but they still have to flush Auburn out. And it looks like slowly but surely they're starting to do that, but a push to 15 off that bat is really, really strong, Saf.
Yeah, that's a rough one to come back from Toma. You could see Bravo from Auburn was looking in to try to take a fight there. Wego, though, playing the very patient flank, just trying to hold the tower there for as long as they can, though. Splashdown and Inkstorm coming in, though, so Wego unfortunately going down there. I mean, Auburn still trying to struggle to find their footing to come back in there, but finally there's some yellow ticks on that line at the top of the screen there as OSU finally makes their way to checkpoint number 1, with multiple members of Auburn just trying to be stabilized in their platform area there. However, you can see infiltration in the bats and how detrimental it can be, that splashdown coming in. However, Game Boy is not going to let that deter them. Finally, 2 members going down for OSU here, and the tower slowly making its way back to mid. However, it seems like a lot of those jumps coming in, still going to be a battle for this platform here.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to push that second checkpoint, but it does look like Auburn is going to be able to slow the bleeding for just right now, but you can still see OSU just wants to try to keep this going at all costs. The 2 down definitely is going to be able to help their case, but they need to keep an eye out on Wego behind, who's been known to just kind of come in and decimate their pushes. They have to make sure that they don't lose sight of that. It looks like Rin knows somebody is there, but can't quite find the eyes on Wego, who's going to get the pick behind them. The second tower checkpoint is going to fall as you see Wego jumps in for the defense now, but they have to stay alive. And Saf, this could get dangerous. They have to keep that blaster in check, and Wego is going to do just that.
Yeah, a really crucial fight going down there with Wego being the successor. Wego really having an eye for how close they need to be with utilizing this carbon roller and really causing a lot of damage here. Not a lot of eyes on the flank, though, coming out from OSU. They got to be really cautious of how that's going, but wow, some haunt being utilized on the C-Jet here, which is really interesting, but could also see that happening considering the C-Jet really does take a lot to actually really cause brutal damage to anybody here. But again, look at Wego just biding their time, utilizing that ninja squid on their side, just swimming on in there, taking out a couple of really crucial spots there, but still all these members falling down on Auburn here. The lead might be changed here, Toma. I mean, look at how yellow the platform of Auburn is at this moment.
Jump for Wego on the side, coming into the defense. The blaster stays alive, though, and you see that it's just the dualies up. So there are going to be opportunities for jump-ins on both sides. The splashdown is ready to go, Saf. This fight is going to be close. They have to collapse in on this tower. Between that Tri-Slosher and the Carbon Roller, they're doing exactly that. You see their OSU's fighting there, trying to stay alive, but Auburn's going to close that out there for that push. And oh my gosh, now 20 seconds left in this set. OSU has to get back in here, get back in mid, and take this tower away from Auburn.
If there's anything that I relate to more, Toma, it's the frantic build of specials as that Booyah Bomb comes out. The Inkjet is being launched. There's now a Trizuka online from Wego, but unfortunately with 3 members going down, you're the only one left with the Trizuka. The overtime now being initiated here. OSU looking in for their second win as they are 5 points, 6 points from victory. But Wego, as we've been saying time and time again, Toma, Wego coming in with the prime shark. Taking Auburn into the final set win there.
Wego is just, that was Wego's game. Like, if that was Wego's game.
Like the Elmo's World song, but Wego's World.
Yeah, really, Wego's World. Wego's like, don't mind as we go on to this win here. We're gonna take this, we're gonna win grands, and just the aggression, the flanks, the sharking was incredible.
Yeah, the player of the game for sure with this one was Wego because, yeah, the mechanics that were necessary that we actually got to see on screen from their perspective were, I mean, just insane, quite honestly. And I mean, that pushback from OSU looked really promising, Toma. I mean, they were really snowballing it through into the overtime counter because as soon as they passed the halfway mark, that is when overtime initiated. So they were starting from ground zero. But, I mean, just, you could see that they were putting all the pieces together. But, yeah, Wego coming in there. And, again, knowing the range that you have with the carbon roller, they jumped close enough just in time to make contact with that hit and climb up. So, yeah, I mean, well played by Wego. Congratulations to Auburn, your Division 6 winners of this season of CCA.
Yeah. Huge there. And, you know, I believe that's gonna, I don't know if we're going with all 9, so Falco, you know, closing thoughts there. What did you think?
Yeah, such a fun set. I mean, that last game, all Wego, we pointed it out. They had such amazing sharking play, especially at the end. I saw them in position. I was like, oh, we gotta watch them. They're gonna be watching that tower. But amazing flanks by Wego and the Auburn University Navy team. But again, 5-1 on paper. But OSU, they played so well in a lot of these games and even took the lead for a pretty good duration of most of the matches. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't close it out, and, you know, getting that win in game 3, which is really nice. It's great. But man, Auburn, they looked very, very strong. They did so well under pressure. They were able to build themselves up and kind of regroup and just like attack full force whenever they were behind or whenever they needed to extend their lead. So they did a fantastic job. And yeah, congratulations to Auburn University Navy for winning your Division 6 season here. OSU and Octas and Squids United, such a fun team to watch. 6-0 going into this season. Again, let's pull up the keys to victory one more time to show just how stacked both of these teams are. Literally every single mode they played, both of these teams won more than 80% of their matches. 6-0 in their sets going into this. So again, 2 very dominant teams as they went into this final match. But yeah, that's going to be it for their Division 6 run. And closing thoughts, Saf and Toma. Saf, we'll start with you.
You know, it's always one of those things, I said it earlier, like, a lot of wins to be had on either side, right? Like the set, we're not looking at specific, like, game-to-game wins, but we're looking at total set wins. Net wins, you have 6-0, 6-0 on either side. And obviously, the paper score doesn't reflect that totally, but, like, we really got to comb through it through these last few games and really see why Octos and Squids were going to be in this final round with Auburn and coming toe-to-toe with Auburn, because consistently, as you said, you held the lead for a long time, but then Auburn came back in overtime, and a lot of times it just comes down to one misstep.
Yeah, and Toma, these two teams on a really good trajectory too. I hope they both play the next CCA season, presumably in the fall, and they're going to be 2 teams to look out for.
I agree, and you know, Falco, I said it multiple times throughout this stream so far, but I think this is kind of one of those really great examples of, hey, if things don't always work out, keep drilling it, keep going back to the lab, work on it, because like I said, Auburn not with the greatest season last time, and they come in and they won Division 6 here. That's something huge, that's something super awesome and huge to be proud of. And I think it shows you can't ever count yourselves out. You just got to keep working, got to keep growing, and that's a feel-good moment, I think.
Yeah, it certainly is. I know. We love it so much, and especially where, you know, this is one of the lower divisions in CCA, but it's always great to see how well that these players do and how well they perform as well, and it's just always so much fun. But hey, the CCA streams are not done. Believe it or not, there is still one more set going on right now, and it is the Division 1 matchup, and that is between Red Embers and UCSD Gold. Again, the two top teams in all of CCA going at it right now. We'll do a live look-in on this overtime while these teams are going on. Again, Red Embers need a lot to overcome, but we're going to turn up the audio from their perspective and take a live listen in.
This is effectively GG, well played. UCSD Esports Go will knot this one up to a piece here, Popgun.
And
all right, and that one is going to be wrapping up there. So again, a very close set, and we're tied 2-2 in this one, Cephalopod. But hey, a lot of the action still going on in CCA. We're actually going to go raid them right now. So
it
you
doesn't
guys,
stop. We gotta go check it out.
No, we gotta go check it out. But yeah, this is our final broadcast of the season here on SplatoonTourney for our CCA broadcast. Again, Falcofly here, joined with Cephalopod, bringing you guys all of our CCA action that we have here on Sunday nights. So we'll thank you guys one more time. Cephalopod, I miss you guys already. I saw you last week at LTC.
Stop it! I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. But we are going to go send you guys over to watch the end of the Division 1 set again. They are tied 2-2 right now. Popgun and Keon are on the mic for that one, so you guys don't want to miss it. And thank you guys so much. Again, we'll be live here on SplatoonTourney for the Ludi season when it's going to be starting in under a month at this point, which is so fantastic to say. I can't wait. The Ludi is tonight, pretty soon.
Soon,
TM, yes. But that's going to be it for us once again. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. We will see you next time. Take care.
I was gonna grab our sticker from off my corkboard and show it